What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 1-2 Punch podcast. Today, as usual, we got Finn on the side of the couch, and we got
your boy Juan over here. Yeah, we gotta stop doing that in a sense. You know, like it's us. It's always been us.
It's always
and you guys
gonna be
devoted
us.
fans out there that are watching us every single time. It will always be us. And if there's another person, we're going to exclude them because it's only about us. Us team. Finn, Jay, sitting on a tree.
Jake.
No, I said Finn.
I thought you said Finn, Jake.
No, I did say Jake. Finn and Juan sitting in a tree. Sorry. I've been trying to get my credit score up, so I've been using like
white people's names.
Caucasian names, yeah. So I was like,
Jake today. No.
Mother, come from the land of the great Caucasus, you know.
Caucasus. Yeah, that is where you come from.
I do.
But yeah, today we're gonna be obviously recapping the most recent UFC event, UFC 327, which was an awesome night of fights. That was great. Hope you guys tuned in. If not, you should. A lot of great fights on there that we're gonna go over every single one, of course. And then we are actually gonna do continue a series that we haven't done for quite a bit, which is our UFC weight class Mount Rushmore / GOAT list. So today we're going to be doing lightweight 155 and featherweight 145. We've done the higher weight classes previously. So if you want to go check those out, those are in our earlier videos. And then we're going to get to our predictions for the upcoming fight night, which is Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott, which, you know, obviously name-wise is not as good as this most recent pay-per-view, obviously, but there's still a lot of interesting fights on there. And for those of you and us who just want to watch fights, I'm happy to have fights on this upcoming weekend.
Always.
So yeah, let's just jump right into that. UFC 327. I mean, overall, yeah, like I said, I thought it was a great event.
card.
A lot of awesome fights. Main card completely delivered on all fronts, really.
I know.
What
it was
did you
in
think
Miami,
of it?
right?
It was in Miami.
Dude, this was so close to a 5 for me.
I think you could say that.
Yeah,
fairly.
dude, it's so close to 5. I think it was just missing a little bit of flash, like a little bit.
I honestly think if Joshua Van and Tyra were on there,
yeah, I think it would have been a 5.
It would have been a perfect card.
Yeah.
I think, honestly.
And I was taken back on how everyone was just going for it, man. Everyone was trying to go for the finish. Everyone was trying to be entertaining, except for one fight. And I think I had Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I think overall, like, they were just overshadowed. We knew that there was going to be a glass chin type of fight, and it did kind of turn into the glass chin type of fight, which is like no one wanted to get hit.
Yeah.
No one wanted to cost. But that being said, I love the card. I love what this card opens up. It has drama, it has stories, it has some changes in the future, fate. Like, now things have changed in a way where either UFC or fighters want to kind of recorrect, and especially with that championship fight, like, oh my gosh. So
yeah, that was
I
crazy.
loved it. I loved it. It was a fun card to watch, and it was awesome to watch it with people that were like, "Oh my gosh, put your hands up!" Like, they're getting hit in the face. Stop getting hit in the face.
I had a similar experience.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. not like that. But I also watched it with my girlfriend. So yeah, let us know in the comments, what did you guys think? What would you rate it out of 5? Honestly, I would say 4 or 5, 4.5 if I may. I thought it was damn near perfect. So we're just gonna start from the very bottom of the card and work our way all the way up. So first fight, we had Francisco Prado versus Charles Radke. I did rewatch this fight. I watched the last 2 rounds live, I think, so I had to go back and rewatch just to make sure I caught everything. I mean, yeah, it was a great fight. Prado, I think he's like 0-5 in the UFC or something like that. I could be wrong. Let me take a look. But yeah, it was, man, Radke was he hit him with like some Tony Ferguson style. Thank you. He hit him with like some Tony Ferguson style elbows from the bottom, which sliced him open. Yeah, see, look, he's lost. He's 1-5 in the UFC, bro. That's crazy. That is brutal. Yeah, we have an iPad now, we're in the big leagues.
We're in the big leagues.
But
boys.
yeah. I mean, really, to start the fight off, Prado landed some pretty he landed like a nasty body kick and a nasty like left hook to the body, and then from there Charles Radke kind of just took over. Like he was getting the takedowns wherever he wanted. Like he was just really controlling him on the ground pretty easily. Like he was getting him in this weird like one hook in back control and having like a Kimura grip on the other side almost. It was kind of interesting, but Prado just looks. It just doesn't seem like he's UFC level, to be honest with you.
Do you think he gets let go?
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah,
100%.
that's what I was thinking.
He's lost his last 4 fights. I mean, and he's not a high tier contender. So you usually, if you lose 3 and you're not a high level guy, you get let go. So, but yeah, great fight. Solid fight. A lot of blood, so I almost wanted to say great fight. But yeah, he was hitting him with like Tony Ferguson style elbows from the bottom, which you almost never see.
Yeah,
like he genuinely was like the damage was damn near equal. And which is pretty surprising from being the guy on bottom. So shout out Radke. I mean, older guy, so not like I'm expecting him to like make some crazy run or something like that, but it was a good win on his part.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Actually, the funny thing about talking to old people, that middleweight fight right after that,
oh my God,
we had our Kevin
unction,
Gastelum, the unction.
Yeah,
we know that the torches are being passed, and UFC is saying that you either have passed it.
They passing it to each other, bro. They need to pass it to someone else, bro.
I was like, but Kevin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque.
This fight pissed me off, but I'm gonna let you cook.
I think you kind of sum it up. It's a very frustrating fight until something happened, but like it was very interesting to see Luque be able to take the knockdown. Right? Kevin.
That was crazy.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
I was so confused by this fight.
But I will say that submission at the end was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Was it a rear naked or
no? I think it was a Darce.
Oh, it was a Darce.
It was Darce or Anaconda. It was one of those.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't even know how to speak about unks anymore, man. They just
bro. Okay.
Tell me. Let me know,
bro. Like, okay, I know Gastelum is old, bro, but like. Losing to Luque in 2026 is fucking embarrassing, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry. This is one of the most washed fighters in the UFC.
Well, this is the thing, too. I think he just doesn't take his career seriously.
We
knew that with the missing the weight.
I don't think so.
We knew that with him, what's called, just really missing the weight. Missing the weight just showed that he just wasn't there, wasn't taking it seriously. His long layoffs, it just didn't make sense.
Not only that, okay, this is really, like, my problem. And, like, okay. Luque, like, genuinely, I mean, I will give him credit. I was very surprised that he was able to drop him.
Yeah.
That was very impressive. Gastelum is, like, everybody knows he has a crazy chin. But if you're Kevin Gastelum, and if I was him, like, I don't know if it's him or his camp, but, like, literally Luque's only way to win a fight currently in this year is by Darce or Anaconda. I'm pretty sure that's how he's won his last 2 fights.
Yeah.
Like the one he submitted Themba Garimbo with the Darce as well, I'm pretty sure, which I think was his most recent win before this. He literally does not look like he has anything anywhere to beat someone with currently other than a Darce.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Gastelum looked like he had no idea how to defend it.
Well,
and I know Luque's Darce is that good, but I'm like, bro, like he literally looked lost in that. He looked lost in that scenario, and I'm just like, dude, this is like the only thing that you should be repping. Like this is literally you should be a master of a Darce defense.
We'll email or send Kevin Gastelum to Craig Jones how to escape from a Darce.
Dude, yeah, you don't even, bro. Like, and also like totally separate deal, but it was pissing me off when Gastelum was like holding him in a front headlock, and I'm like, bro, just stand up. Like you should be able to box this guy's head off. Like,
yeah.
Why are you trying to grapple with him? Like that's just dumb to me.
I don't know. But isn't Kevin Gastelum a wrestler?
He is, but like he wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
And also like I just feel like if I was fighting Luque, I would just be like, I guess I thought that Gastelum was a better striker than Luque, but maybe not.
I don't know.
So maybe he just didn't really know what to do at that point.
I think that kind of sums up Gastelum and what we're trying to really explain is which he just doesn't take anything seriously. I don't even know if he remembers his weapons that he has and remembers it in the fight. I think he doesn't even have a game plan. You can kind of tell. Like he's just kind of like whatever's available to them, I'm going to do the most worst route possible.
I think he's just maybe a little bit more washed than I thought because...
That's true. How old is he?
I don't know. You're gonna have to click on him, but I just honestly thought that
34.
34, but he's been fighting for a very long time. But I don't know. Honestly, I was expecting him to just beat Luke up on the feet.
Yeah, the box.
So maybe I was just wrong, but I just feel like I've seen Gastelum a lot more recently have success on the feet than I've seen Luke have success on the feet. But
well, I'm also starting to see a lot of these fighters not at the highest pedigree are starting to have like that. We'll talk a little bit about it in a little bit, which is that Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker thing, which is they don't want to get hit anymore. And you can kind of tell the way they approach it is like clean exchanges that are there. They won't take them for whatever reason. And it might be like, I just subconsciously, like, I don't really want to get hit. So I'm going to try to take a different route, a different approach to gain closer. But him doing that and getting closer to Luka and then Luka cracking him is crazy. So I was like, it's like,
shout out Luke, man, though. He's a really fucking nice guy.
yeah, he's a sweetheart.
And he's had a lot of great fights throughout his career. So I don't take this as me being like a Luke hater. That could not be further from that. I have no problem
can't
with
dislike
Luke.
Any Brazilian fighters.
Not
in the
really.
UFC.
No, they're usually pretty fun. It was just kind of a
We thought
frustrating fight IQ from Gastelum, and I was just expecting better things from him. So not trying to shit on Gastelum though. Moving on to the next fight, we got Chris Padilla versus Markel Maderos. Okay, so did you hear about because you missed this fight,
I missed this
right?
one, yeah.
Okay, but there was some crazy shit going on with this dude. Okay, so I can't remember who it was, but one of them got announced as the winner in the octagon, and then it got after they didn't bring him back in the octagon. 20 minutes later, they're like, "Oh yeah, we read that wrong. It was a draw."
What the fuck?
Yeah,
how's that possible?
I don't know.
How do they keep doing this?
I feel like it happened last week.
Yeah, it did
with Darius Flowers or something like that, right?
That's crazy.
Insane. But also, it was a fucking robbery, bro. Chris Padilla won that freaking fight, man.
Did they give it to him originally?
I don't remember. I kind of think they did, but
okay.
I mean, okay, maybe robbery is a strong word, but one of the judges should be executed for his scorecards because to me the most clear round was round 1 for Padilla, and only one of the judges gave that round to Medeiros, which swung the fight to be a draw. And I just thought that was complete bullshit. It was a good fight overall, but I thought round 1 was clearly to Padilla, which I'm pretty sure his nickname is Taco, I fuck with that.
Okay.
But
I do like tacos.
Me too. I
like
tacos.
to eat them.
Dude,
specifically.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait a second. Dude, you know what you need on tacos, right? Lettuce, sour cream, corn, hard tortilla, sprinkly cheese.
Get away from me.
You're only ground beef, never any other meat.
You're knighted. You're taking away.
I'm un-Mexican.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're not in my 7v7
lost my
anymore.
Mexican status.
No, but I do think that the UFC judging does need to get their shit together. One,
it's a real problem
because they're good when they are, but you can't be making these mistakes, man. Especially on TV, on national TV. This is
you just got paid you got a $7 billion deal, and you can't. I understand that it's the states that provide the judges because you can't have a company hiring their own judges, but there's so much money in the sport now. How do we not have just even semi-competent judges? It's genuinely insane.
It's especially how popular combat sports has gone in the last 5 years. How is there no way that you are taking care of these fighters' careers in the sense of being proper judges? They're doing their part. They're going in the octagon. They're throwing hands. They're breaking themselves. They're tearing ACLs. They're rearranging their faces for you to give someone a moment and then rob them from the moment because you were incompetent enough to read your scores right. You were able to do what you need to do. They show up, you show up. That should be what's mandatory. And if you make a mistake, then guess what? The state or whatever higher up is above you. penalizes you and then removes you from that judging pool.
Yeah.
Then go judge
Has to be some
fucking
accountability.
local or regional scenes.
Yeah.
And then work your way up to judging the big thing, because it should be the same way for us fans and us athletes as it is for the judges. You work your way up to the big screen, you get a bigger payday. If you don't, then you start back, you go back to the bottom, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like there's zero accountability. I mean, there's literally specific judges that people have been saying for years are terrible at their job. I think Sal D'Amato is one that people...
I hear that name all the time.
Yeah,
a lot.
Same.
Sal D'Amato, if you're watching this, you ain't shit.
You.
Fuck you.
Fuck it, you.
Fuck it.
Yeah, but moving on to the prelims.
Tatiana
Suarez
versus Loopy.
Yeah, pretty impressive win from Suarez, coming back after her first professional loss against Weili Zhang in her last fight, and also became the first person to ever finish Lupi Godinez, which is pretty cool. I mean,
and I was going for Godinez on this one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Tatiana.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why. Both have insanely high level wrestling backgrounds, but yeah, Suarez just. Seems like. I mean, it honestly, not to just like give the credit to somebody else, like Suarez did great, but it almost makes what Weili Zhang did even more impressive. Because I wanted to say that Suarez was the best grappler in the division after seeing this, but I'm like, well, wait. I'm pretty sure we just saw Weili Zhang just completely shut her down in that last fight. But, I mean, yeah, great stuff from Suarez. Just one of the most dominant grapplers that I can think of in women's MMA currently.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it was a really I think after this, the pace just gets high, guys. Like the high pace. And
3 for 3 on takedowns.
Yeah, I liked it. Unfortunately, didn't get to watch this. I did watch some of the highlights with that rear naked choke that Tatiana put.
It was a really nice choke, yeah.
But I do like the next fight, and after this, I am all on board, guys, which is the lightweight fight with Gamrot versus, how do you say his last name?
Ribovic. Esteban Ribovic.
Gamrot is...
Kind of just destroyed him, man.
It's hard to think that he only has 4 losses because he doesn't get marketed the way other fighters do. He is such a high-level wrestler.
Oh, my God.
A high-level athlete, even that. So... Gamrot, Ribovic was having his little moments right before Gamrot just took the show, which was just, he was trying to throw pieces. He was trying to stay in a rhythm. But the funny thing is about it is, like, it's difficult to do that against a grappler that says, I don't care. I'm going to snatch a leg.
Yeah.
I'm going to snatch a leg. You might try to stop it, but I'm going to take it down. And I think that's the most important thing as a grappler, as a wrestler, which is I'm going to grab you and I'm going to do what I want. And there's not a dang thing that you can do to stop me, because the single leg that he got was so beautiful because he grabbed it and then he like twerked his body into him just like just not even throwing him. He just sat to his buttocks, and then Gamrot just mauled him for the next round, and then did the same thing again against the fence on the second round, and then grounded and pounded until he got that submission, which was super impressive. Gamrot is...
What was the submission again? Was it an arm triangle?
Oh, yeah, it was an arm triangle.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, very impressive. And Gamrot is...
He's such an impressive grappler. It's honestly insane.
And the thing, too, is like every time, and this is like the twice I've said it about Gamrot, is Gamrot does so well, then you look at the rest of the division and be like, dang, it's still a very steep hill for him to get up, because there are monsters in there. And Gamrot is a monster. But these guys are monsters amongst like monsters.
Tier B monster. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And I'm like, I think if he gets lined up, Gamrot will take his opportunity and try to take them out
for sure.
But it's still hard to imagine that he's just right below that tier.
Yeah.
And he is elite in all the words. And Ribovic, he just didn't have any answers.
No,
he just didn't have any answers for Gamrot's grappling and wrestling and pressure.
Yeah, man. Like we said, I mean, his pace, his takedowns, his top control, just all really as good as it gets, other than like an Islam Makhachev in this division. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a guy that, whether you agree with the decision or not, he has a win over Arman Saryukian in a fight that they were grappling. You know what I mean? It's not like he won it purely on the feet or something like that. And yeah, Ribovic, really fun fighter. But like you said, man, he was just purely outclassed in this fight. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if it's just too much too soon. I mean, but I also think that Gamrot is just that skilled of a grappler that it's just not. I don't even think it's like, oh, Ribovic sucks or he is not ready for a ranked opponent. I just think just matchup wise, there was just really nothing he could do in this scenario. You know what I mean?
I completely agree, and that's actually a funny thing that as a grappling focused fight that was this. Our next fight has our boy Kevin Big Mouth Trailblazer Holland, which we were both on the fence about on this fight because we were like, it's Randy Brown, and Randy Brown is able to take out mid to low high level fighters. Yeah. Very skilled. Kevin Holland showed up. He showed up. Did, yeah. I think it was a competitive round until Kevin Holland really started to slowly eat up some of the pace, some of the distance, more of the exchanges started happening. And they obviously started talking. He started flowing. He started feeling good about himself. And this is what I want the UFC to do. Give Kevin Holland fun fights. Yeah, all right, we know he's not going to make it top 5. We know. And if he does, he wants to go back down. Oh, my gosh. He doesn't want the grapplers. He wants fun fights. He doesn't care if he gets outclassed with MVP. He wants these fun stand-up. Let's mess around. Let's slang and bang a little bit. Talk shit. Like that's the type of fights that Kevin Holland wants, and that's the fight that Randy Brown was kind of bringing him. Randy Brown wanted to do a little bit more his pace, but then he just kind of fell into Kevin Holland's flow, and then in that flow, Kevin Holland just kept landing and engaging these exchanges. Did actually Kevin Holland rock Randy at one point? I want to say
sure.
I wanted to say yes, but I don't know. You guys, and also just like and subscribe, comment. Let us know downstairs in these little boxes where you can comment about how do you guys like the Kevin Holland train. Like I think he's the modern Nate Diaz without 100%. Without being the flaws of Nate Diaz, and I think that's a very important thing to distinguish. He's all about business. He's all about having fun and doing it, but without like the flaws of being like, oh, do I have to worry about this dude every time? Like, no, he wants to show up. He likes making this money. He likes working for the company. He likes doing what he needs to do for these fights. Nate Diaz was somewhat about it, some not about it. So sometimes it was a hit or a miss with his performances. With Kevin Holland, we know his performances are going to be great if it's just not.
We know what we're going to get. Yeah, pretty much.
So I like it a lot. I love Kevin Holland and Kevin Holland. If you're watching this, dog, please let us know down below. Comment so.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun fight. Honestly,
I do too.
Yeah, I thought it was just really enjoyable. Just a really interesting stylistic matchup. Man, they have like the exact same body type.
They do.
Like eerily similar. And yeah, honestly, like I thought it was a genuinely impressive performance from Holland because I mean, he's obviously a good striker, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Randy Brown was just a little bit too technical for him. You know what I mean? But
and kind of stronger.
Yeah, and I thought he has more. I thought it would have had more power than him, honestly, as well. Or just more diverse attacks, but it feels like Holland was really able to. He seemed really confident in this.
He was eating the leg a lot too.
He was chipping away at that leg early, which I think helped a lot set up his offense. And yeah, like I said, I think he was really confident in this fight. He was pressing forward.
Yeah,
it seemed like he was, just fighting about as intelligent as Kevin Holland can. Fight, you know what I mean?
And I do think that. If I were able to say, and I would like to hear what you like to say about this one, I think this is the highest level. This is probably his best win for Kevin Holland's resume so far.
Well, I would say maybe Jacare. That was a really good win. But this is a great Buckley too. But in terms of recently, yeah, sure. It's a great win. Randy Brown is a very solid fighter. And man, also, I will say I almost forgot. I was shocked that he didn't get the submission. He had that thing locked up pretty tight, it seemed like.
I like to quote Kevin Holland, it's hard to choke skinny necks.
That's true.
Skinny necks,
that's very true. I mean, it's just the fact that he had him in there for so long.
Yeah, and he like wrapped up the legs too.
Yeah, it seemed like he was doing everything.
And it's funny too because Kevin Holland was watching it. It said on the post interview, it was like, I think I should have just tried to get to mount and ground and pounded him.
Probably.
But
I I was just surprised he didn't finish it there. But shout out Randy Brown for that
Yeah.
submission defense. Should teach Gastelum.
Also, shout out to Kevin Holland. We don't know if this is actually rumors or truth, and we didn't actually go into to talk a little bit about news. But Kevin Holland, supposedly, paid for Daniel Rodriguez bail to get out of Mexican prison.
I heard that as well.
I think Daniel Rodriguez was in there for 8 months. We don't know anything. We don't even know why he was in there. But so apparently Kevin Holland paid for it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, but Daniel Rodriguez said it. Kevin Holland's like, well, he said it, and it would be nice to see a rematch between these two. Just
thanks for
fun.
bailing me out. Let's fight again.
Yeah, basically. So I was like. So I think that would be a fun fight. If not, Kevin did say he wants to fight Malott again, and I think winner of Gilbert
I don't know
Burns,
if Malott would want to do that rematch.
I don't think so.
I don't know why he would want to.
Yeah,
but
he's
I do
going
think it'd be a good
upward,
fight. Yeah, I would be interested in that fight though.
But I think Kevin Holland's such a big name. Getting 2 wins over him is such a.
Yeah, I was trying to look at these rankings to like see who he could fight next, and it's tough. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez ranked 14. Colby Covington never fights. Gabriel Bonfim, that could be decent. MVP, we already saw that. Gilbert Burns is ranked 11. That's kind of crazy, but
that is pretty crazy for how inactive he's been in the last year and a half. It's pretty.
We'll have
pretty
to see,
intense.
but I hope. I mean, just hoping that they give him a fun fight next is all I can really say, to be honest with you. But yeah, super fun fight. Next fight we got, also very interesting. Aaron Pico defeats Patricio Pitbull by decision.
This was
in a fight that he largely dominated for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This was just
real showcase for Pico.
Yeah. And I think we were just talking about a little bit about earlier is like, where does Pico go from this? As a Bellator guy, he looks like he can make it really big, but I think Pitbull was a perfect showcase 100%. Where he can highlight all of his weapons. I don't know if he'll be able to perform like this in the higher stage. Pitbull, as much as he's a high level champion in the Bellator scene, he's just physically just smaller.
Yeah, he's so small.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Pico to use that perfect range compared to other people that can counter closer and further away at the same time. So, and the grappling pedigree, it's hard to take down taller guys than you. It's just hard, and Pico had that size advantage so much in that fight, but his boxing was clean. He was just landing ruthlessly, and I love anybody that hits the body. So
anytime they hit a left hook to the body with that much power, I'm like, ugh. I just think of maybe one of my favorite finishes of all time, Jose Aldo versus what the fuck is his name? I literally can't remember his name. That's so ironic. The guy who the fuck is that guy? Jeremy Stevens. It's so funny that I literally couldn't remember his name.
Who the fuck is that guy?
But one of my favorite finishes of all time, which was a left hook and then like a damn near right uppercut to the body where he just crumbled after that.
And you were checking too if who's Pico's competition above.
Okay,
right?
Yeah. So no, I was gonna pose a question to you.
Right.
I have a bit more to say about this performance, but I think this is a fun game to play. So Patricio Pitbull is ranked number 13, and I think we can tell just from the fact that they gave Pico Lerone Murphy as his first fight in the UFC, they're trying to showcase him. Yeah. So I say that to say I'm 100% sure he's going to get someone higher ranked than Pitbull after this fight.
100%.
They're trying to push him.
And he lost against Murphy, correct?
He got spinning elbowed brutally against Lerone
and
Murphy.
It's Murphy, guys.
Yeah, that's not a bad loss. I mean, he did get done dirty. But anyways, I'm going to give you like
Dana does not like that.
No. Yeah, he does not. He always, literally everyone always says this. He always gives them like a horrible first fight.
Yeah.
Like it always is like a murderer.
on their first
Murphy?
Fight?
Yes, bro.
Damn.
Yes, bro. Honestly, he probably wanted, I don't even know who he wanted to win in that one. But okay, so Pitbull was ranked number 13. Yeah. So we're gonna go up from there. I'm gonna give you, honestly, I'm looking at like 2 names here. If they wanted to give him this one I don't think makes sense. If they wanted to give him an easy fight, they could give him Josh Emmett. I don't think that's gonna happen. Josh Emmett is ranked below him. Yeah. I don't know if I see that. The 2 names that I'm looking at that are kind of interesting to me are Brian Ortega and which I think he would beat the shit out
Yeah,
of Brian
yeah.
Ortega. And this next fight is kind of a scary one to me, but it sounds very fun. What if they match him up against Kevin Vallejos? That's a good fight, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And I feel like that's kind of doing Pico dirty again.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun fight, though.
But that'd be such a good
because whoever wins that goes up,
like top 5 up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a
tough,
nasty fight. Though.
That is.
But this is a UFC.
Yeah.
Kevin Vallejos is only ranked 10, bro.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is the coolest part of the UFC, and us as fans, especially as casuals, hobbyists, whatever fan you are, we love all of you. We want you to be part of you.
Yeah.
But there is a sad truth. Not everybody gets to the top.
No.
Now, someone's going to get burned. Someone's going to get starched. They're going to get knocked out in national television, submission, whatever. Someone needs to lose.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be an amazing opportunity to see just even how far some of these guys go. I like Pico. I like Haugen. I really, really like Kevin. Yeah. So it'll be nice to see them fight.
I think that's a great fight.
I think that would be a great fight.
I think that's a perfect fight to make.
Hunter, if you're watching this,
book that. Give me a job as a UFC matchmaker.
I got you, dog. We'll promo code UFC. You get 50% off your next pay-per-view.
Oh wait. That doesn't exist anymore.
No, just pay us.
Oh, yeah.
You get the best information here. Like, subscribe, comment below, hit that notification button so we can give you the best what ifs on the planet. And right now, the biggest what if right now is Pico against Kevin.
That is such a great fight.
I want to see that fight so bad now that you brought it up.
I just feel like the boxing would be so fun.
Clean.
And I feel like Pico probably would get put out in that fight.
I think he hits
he could. I mean, I don't know.
He hits long. He's very long.
I mean, maybe that's a fight where Pico will mix it up and go back to his wrestling, which we know is elite. And I can't speak to Vallejos wrestling. I don't really know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like I felt really bad for Pitbull because he had so many miles on him. Yeah, so many miles.
He has that was his fucking 46th fight.
That's
his professional fight. That is insane.
That is insane. And I'm gonna tell you this, guys. The deeper the fights you go, the more your body just doesn't want to. It's just part of the thing. That's why for a lot of people that do grappling, like you guys feel good towards the higher peak, whatever, it's because your body's not taking that impact the way that some of these striking arts do. But that being said, both are absolutely amazing. Great work on Pico. Great and boxing. I can see him hitting the top 5 in the next year with some lot of tough matches.
If he fights like that,
I
think it's possible. You know what I mean?
100%.
I mean, even he spoke about in that fight versus Lavon Murphy.
Slow? Oh no, he said that he felt slow on this one.
He was just fighting so wildly, and as someone who doesn't have the strongest chin, I mean, like obviously he can win any fight. Like he has the power to win any fight, really.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see him going on a winning streak if he's not going to fight intelligently. But he did do that in this fight. He fought really smart. Felt like he really set his offense up. And, you know what I mean? Really, it felt like after he sort of got some momentum, he just never let it go.
And also, like, I think you brought up a really good point, which was people that don't mix it up have issues going against the higher level people or grapplers.
Sure.
If you don't get any mat time or any, like, time mixing up, it's going to be hard to even want to do that later. We saw that with the Brian Ortega issue, which was he started thinking he was a boxer. And then
Max Holloway was fucking holding his arms up for him.
And then when he went against Volk, he wanted to lead boxing and then go into jiu-jitsu. But then he was already getting boxed up.
Yeah.
And then trying to do jiu-jitsu after getting punched so many times. So you're the highest level black belt there is. And then you get chipped away down to a brown belt. And Volkanovski's just going to take you.
After taking that many punches?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And he still almost submitted him.
Yeah, I know.
I still can't believe it.
Dude, I'm still on the Charles Oliveira. If Armas Sarukian's shorts didn't slip, Charles Oliveira would be on top.
Yeah, that is low-key crazy to think about.
Yeah, they should.
I don't even. It's like
staple those things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that just doesn't seem like it should be able to happen. But, anyways, moving on to the main card.
Yes, these babies.
This first fight was crazy. Cub Swanson
rejuvenated,
destroyed Nate Landwehr in Cub Swanson's retirement fight.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for him that he went out like this. It never goes this well in retirement fights.
Let me even tell you a crazier stat.
Okay,
a crazier stat is only 3 people have defeated Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira. That being Islam Makhachev, Max Holloway, and Cub Swanson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he had wins over those
Yeah,
guys. Featherweight, obviously, but that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Wow.
I know. That's the.
What the fuck?
That's an
really
amazing
weird.
feat. So
Yeah.
I've always been a massive fan of Cub Swanson.
Yeah.
I think watching him like in his prime, he's just a ruthless dude. And
such a fun fighter.
he always kept up with how his body was aging. So like he always changed his style. Like if he's getting slower, he just needs to be timing better. If he's getting weaker, he needs to mix up the weapons. And he has some of the most craziest fights. One of the most rewatchable fights of all time is Cub Swanson versus that Asian dude.
Yeah, Korean Superboy, I think that's who it was, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah.
You guys ever want to see a barn burner of just straight
People say that's like one of the best fights of all time.
I agree. I put it in my top 5 fights for sure.
Yeah.
So, no, but yeah, tell me what you think about this Nate Lander wasn't able to get off.
Bro, I thought I definitely thought that Cub Swanson was going to box him up to a degree, but I just thought that I thought that Cub Swanson wouldn't have the power to hurt him like this, and B, I thought that from what we've seen historically, Nate Landwehr is pretty durable.
Yeah,
I mean, in a lot of his fights, and that's kind of what played into how I thought this fight was going to go. In a lot of Nate Landwehr fights, he does get hit a lot, but he is so tough and so durable that he will come back later in fights and just drown these guys through sheer cardio and just grit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I thought was a real possibility here. And Cub Swanson just didn't give him the chance to survive.
Hard.
I don't even know. It's honestly almost hard to believe.
I know a man possessed, DC was saying. I think it was an amazing way to wrap up on a beautiful career that Cub Swanson has.
Yeah, man.
So,
His kids were there watching.
40 plus fights, 46 fights now. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was insane. I mean, what's the striking?
Dude,
40 out of 52. I mean, he landed like every punch he threw.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Insane. I great happy ending for a guy icon really for the sport that was behind the scenes, never championship up there, but just
a staple.
Yeah, just kept everything going, and he's been there since the what was before it turned into the UFC?
WEC.
He was there before it all happened, and that is awesome. Some of these guys we forget.
Such a long career.
Yeah, and pioneers in the sports, and also like happy ending. He has 3 kids, a great wife. Moving on without all that extra. Getting back into the ring to just get hurt over and over again is a good thing. And I think one of the things, my favorite thing about him is what he said on his post interview speech was right before the odds. Like he's scared every time he goes in, and a lot of fighters do forget or fans forget that these guys are scared of the opposition. They know these guys are monsters, and they get in there anyways. And I think that's Cub Swanson is a great staple of that. He's like, I'm not just trying to fight to just lose. Like I want to win, but I am scared, and I think it kind of sums up the retirement. Like I'm done. He went in there, fought the best competitions out there. He's out, and I give him applause just to enjoy his retirement. Go enjoy your beautiful family, and hopefully some of these other fighters can take a page out of this book and retire on top or retire happy. Yeah, don't retire fucking fatigued, worn out, broken. Retire good.
It seemed like he really went out at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty impressive, honestly, how he has adapted. Like you said, I mean, he's 3-1 in his last 4 fights. I mean, like
crazy.
For someone that's like 42 years old, that's pretty.
I know, and it was
that's
nasty
pretty impressive.
knockouts too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll still see him in the space. I mean, he said that apparently he just opened his own gym recently or something like that. So seems like he's gonna be training up the younger generation, which is always cool to see. Yeah. I mean, I feel like some guys go. Just want to be done with it completely, but I feel like there's definitely something to be said about just martial arts in general, how it can be sort of a lifelong thing. Yes. You know what I mean? Just because you're not competing necessarily doesn't mean you don't have anything to give to the game or the community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of love that aspect of it, that idea of it, of like, if we didn't have our coaches and our OGs and all that, we wouldn't be shit. So
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Of course, you always would want to give back in that way.
And I always think, too, like, as a community bit, and if anybody is watching that's interested in doing the martial arts, interested in fighting, or interested in anything, just remember, you stay in this sport long enough, you will meet everybody that's up there. We know people that compete. We know people that fought Bellator fighters, that have met UFC fighters. Like, the longer you stay, like, a good example is jiu-jitsu. If you get to a black belt, you probably know most black belts around the country. Like, that's actually a really cool feat. Like, you'll become the celebrity without, like, doing the whole celebrity, but you just meet a lot of people and network through the arts, through the martial arts, through, like, networking. And I think that's a really cool thing to do. So that's like, get into the sport. It's fun. It's martial arts is fun. It's a good place where we just roll around for like maybe 30, 40 minutes, have fun, maybe hit each other, and then just talk about our lives right after. And then that's fun. I think people forget that we're not or people that are getting into it, it's not intimidating. We're just a bunch of dorks that like to hit each other a little bit and then just talk. That's it.
This is true. So next up.
Oh, we're talking about people that hit each other barely and just talk. We got Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker in the light heavyweight division. I'm so disappointed in this fight. I think everybody was. And
I don't think it was quite as bad as people were making it out to be, but in terms of the expectation, it was very disappointing.
I do. This is
think
one
it
of the.
was
I
bad?
do think it was.
Okay.
Just because there was a moment that Walker
they never opened up.
Yeah, there was a moment that Walker was like angling out, and then Dominic Reyes was just looking at him.
I was gonna bring.
And
that
I was
up
just like,
too.
and
His
I was like,
footwork was so bad. It was crazy.
And I was like, okay, I want to give him a chance to be able to get it, but there is a second round that Johnny Walker might have won because he just threw 3 more punches than him.
Yeah, I kind of thought Walker was going to win that fight from how it was looking in the beginning of the fight.
I thought the exchanges Reyes was kind of like, I don't know.
Sure, on the outside, it seemed like Walker had him covered, though.
Back foot. Being on the back foot also doesn't look good to the judges.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
I don't know. It was a tough fight where like I started mentally dissociating from the fight because the card was doing so well. So when this fight came out, I'm like, all right, someone's going to go out.
Disassociate? So bad, made you
dude, I was like
thinking about your life.
I was looking at it and I'm like, John said that you won him. That's crazy.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? I just think it's funny. I was watching the Embedded before the UFC Embedded vlogs, and like, or maybe it was in the press conference. Dominic Reyes was really like, "We're gonna go out on our shields." And I'm just like, it always just makes me laugh when people say stuff like that.
Just don't say anything. How about that? Like,
yeah, I get trying to promote your fight, but it's just a funny juxtaposition, you know.
And the funny thing is, like, what happens with these guys? Like light heavyweight. Like honestly, it should have been a draw at that point, just to piss both of them off.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed in Walker for having a run that he has in the last 3 fights. Or no, he won his last 3 fights, right?
He won his last few fights, definitely.
Yeah. So it was just interesting, and I think that for the future, I don't see Walker Reyes really fighting any high level competition and winning if that's kind of like the energy they bring, because light heavyweight division, as much as it's going
solid, man,
but it's going pretty low right now. Like there's not a lot of action, especially who's the top 3 right now.
Why do they still have Pereira as the light heavyweight champion?
Because UFC
didn't Ulberg just is wrong? The UFC is, bro, they need to get their shit together. On the official UFC website, it says right now, Alex Pereira is the light heavyweight champion.
Bro, have you seen a video of him?
Didn't we just watch on Saturday?
Alex
Someone
Pereira,
get the belt wrapped around them? That's actually embarrassing, bro.
That is pretty. Update yourself, guys. Like,
holy fuck.
I'm gonna send him a really heartfelt message through my my MySpace page, and get to them.
But yeah, pretty mid fight at best. Yeah, I don't have much to say about the fight. I thought Johnny Walker looked decent at first, like you said. Commentator said the same thing. He was kind of just taking the outside foot and just slapping him with kicks.
Yeah.
He's huge, by the way. Johnny Walker is stupidly large.
Yeah.
But they just didn't really. They were both just, wary to engage, which I understand. But
Yeah, especially for having the glass chins that they do have.
yeah,
I think that was kind of like their biggest indicator. They just didn't want to get hit, and I think they were so focused on themselves that they stopped focusing on like trying to win the fight in a sense.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm not in their brains.
Just
I can only
one
guess.
fight, I mean,
you guys let us know really, because I know that we think a lot of these fighters and we're trying to make our best opinions but we can only talk about what we think. But let us know what you guys think on the comments below. Like, subscribe, do your shebang. But what was not left, or was not trying to be left, was crazy. My division, the division that I think is the most fat and flabbiest division on the planet, was the greatest heavyweight fight I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness graciousness. Oh my gracious goodness. Josh Hockett, the man with the steel with the man.
Oh my fucking God.
Margaritas, mamacitas, red wine, fine dine. Will you be mine?
You can't keep getting away with this,
bro. Great showcase from Josh Hockett.
Yeah,
man. Curtis Blades did everything he could to win this fight. But Josh Hockett's speed was just... There was a moment that Josh Hockett 1-2'd him. Curtis couldn't even react to being hit. And then 1-2'd him again. I was like, oh my gosh. Dang. Josh Hockett was doing... Curtis Blades was trying his best to stay mentally in there. But I think he was out on his feet like several times.
Bro, he was out on his feet from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was like a sober guy fighting a drunk guy for most of the fight.
Gosh.
He landed 181... I still can't believe Curtis Blades landed more strikes. That's hard to believe.
Well, he barely tapped
Also,
him.
how are they saying that Blades never got knocked down? I swore he got knocked down in that fight. He did not.
He got his knees didn't touch the ground. Like
wow,
he almost
okay.
he willed himself. Yeah, dude. I was absolutely insane. My girlfriend was watching and she was like, "Oh my gosh, his face is bloody," and I'm like, "Just wait. We're in the first round, baby."
Can y'all see the disappointment on my face, bro?
Dude.
Like,
But
I wanted Blades to win this fight so much, but yeah, I give all props. I give all props to Hockett. He seems like a really good fighter. It's literally just the personality that just
I know.
I'm not a huge fan of.
I think he's taking a page out of that WWE.
He's going full heel for sure,
Yeah.
bro. Full heel for sure. So in that sense, it's working. If he's trying to annoy me, you know what's funny? Shout out Zeke. He literally called this exactly. He texted me after this fight, and he was talking about they're throwing the same punches over and over, and it's working. He looks like he's spamming punches on UFC 5, and then he said, "Juan, next week. So the fat and flabby division is back."
Let's go. Yes, Zeke. You know this. Honestly, I do think one thing that shout out Zeke really brought up was, is that they don't have to be 250, 260, 270.
Yeah, he was just so much faster than him,
yes,
like you said. It was
and he
insane.
was outclassing. He stopped Curtis Blades'
His boxing wasn't even that good, bro.
No.
It was really pretty bad, actually. He was just so much faster than him.
Fast. And
Looked
I think
like he was fighting a fucking punching bag.
That's what I was like thinking. Like, Curtis Blades wanted to move. He couldn't. He's a big boy. He's a big boy, and big
really
boys
slow.
take time.
I never realized that as much before.
And he looked like he was winding up for bombs, but they just didn't land. And Curtis Blades didn't carry the punch.
Hockett was. I couldn't tell exactly, but not to interrupt you, but it looked like he was turning with a lot of the punches because I feel like I saw Curtis Blades land so many like 1-2s, and Hockett was just eating them. It felt like he was really like turning well with the punches, and I think it was a part of that is because Blades he was so much faster than him. I felt like he could see a lot of these punches coming, even if he couldn't get out of the way of them.
Dude, and I think he got in his head, bro. He started Nick Diazing him, giving the finger, talking all that crap. I'm like, bro. At that point, I'm like, he stopped his takedowns. He's outclassing him in the feet. Yeah. He's doing everything. Look, there's two things that went in my mind. Does his corner stop Curtis Blades? Does he throw in the towel? Because that was
a valid question.
I think he got punch drunk by the second round.
And especially as a guy that's we've seen getting put out badly before. Yeah. And I know no one ever throws in the towel in the UFC, but I really think it's something that should be at least thought about more.
Yeah, Brian Ortega's a good example.
100%.
Now Curtis Blades is added to that
You
part.
think about Calvin Kattar. How is this talent not thrown in that fight?
Yeah, it eats away at your life. It eats away at your career.
100%.
And I think, but like I think that part of what I'm thinking, like you don't have to be that big to be that heavyweight guy, to be that heavyweight champion.
That's
and I
very
think
true.
Josh Hokage kind of showed that his skill, that flat and flabby division can become that the biggest, baddest man division again, which is Hokage's big. He's bad.
He's quite athletic, actually.
And he's trying he's taking out these Goliaths that have no skill. And I'm not saying that Curtis Blades is bad. I'm just saying that he's not fast to part of a skill is that you need to be able to apply it, and he can't apply it fast enough. He can't apply it quick enough. He can't apply it strong enough.
Yeah.
And Josh Hokage was entering in every crack that Curtis Blades was doing, and he just kept demolishing him. There's a moment that Curtis Blades where it was just Hail Mary, and he felt like he was good. Even when he had him on the fence, and he started like peppering him, I'm like, you're not hitting him, Curtis, at all.
He really was not.
And I'm like, Curtis, if you land a clean shot, you could probably knock him out. But by that time, Hokage already took the whole narrative of the fight. There's nothing that Curtis could have done. I think that, and I'll probably end it off with saying, like, I do wish that they threw the towel, because that is so, like, when you guys see boxing, it doesn't take a lot of jabs to the head to get you punch drunk and then go out on your feet. And there's a couple of times where I did think that Curtis was out on his feet.
Oh, definitely.
So I do think that they should have thrown the towel, but Hokage is going to be a good idea for people to come up to the heavyweight division, especially now that Pereira's up there.
Yeah,
it's giving a good indication that speed, rhythm, technique, like flawless technique and applying technique is going to be probably the most important thing in that division now.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect segue into you would obviously say, oh, who's Josh Hokage's next fight? Well, if you guys didn't see, apparently he who shall not be named was asking why Derek Lewis was not going to be on the White House card.
Oh, yeah.
And they matched Josh Hokage up with Derek Lewis for the White House card, which, I mean, it's kind of weird because Derek Lewis is a step back in competition, clearly, I would say, from Curtis Blades at this point. But it also is a fight that makes perfect sense for the White House.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So what do you think about that fight?
I think initially I was like, if Derek hits him, Hokage's out.
Sure.
But at the same time, but that kind of answers the thing that is anyone.
Yeah.
And Hokage was not there to be hit.
Yeah.
He moved out of the way. He was fighting intelligently and then fought recklessly and then fought back to intelligently. Like, he's doing what he wants to do. And I think that's an important thing. And I think Derek telegraphs everything. So I was like, I see Hokage steamrolling him too.
I would agree, unfortunately.
And I don't think he would need a wrestle to do that. I think if he wrestled, Derek might take stronger advantage of that than on the feet. I think on the feet, Derek is old. How old is Derek? He's like 40 now?
Yeah.
So like I
got that power though.
Yeah.
I think Hokage. Yeah, I definitely think he could win on the feet. I think, of course, it's scary against Derek Lewis on the feet. I think we've seen Lewis can land a bomb against anyone, and it only takes one. And this is a fight where, and we're talking about Josh Hokage, who Curtis Blades just landed 200 strikes on him.
Yeah.
So Derek Lewis can land one punch to put him out. We can't pretend that that's not an actual possibility.
And you brought up a really good point earlier too, which was before the podcast. We like to do a little game sesh, a little master brainstorming, master headquarters conquering room, and you did say that Hokage didn't. We noticed that he didn't have power to knock him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so
he had power to fuck him up. He didn't have power to knock him out though.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where Derek Lewis is at? I would be a little bit surprised if Hokage finished him on the feet. I mean, I could see like a TKO on the ground maybe. But, of course, he's going to be a huge favorite. He's going to be a humongous favorite over Derek Lewis. But I do think that it's a fun fight, and I think that it's a fight that makes a lot of sense. And I know, for the White House, it's kind of fun to have an American versus a non-American, just so that, the idiots that are watching know who to root for. Not talking about you guys, talking about the fucking shithead politicians that will be in attendance.
They're like, America.
Really?
I'm like, he is,
They're gonna be like
American,
cheering
right?
for the wrong guy because like the American will be black and the white
USA,
guy will be European.
USA. You know the other guy's from Hawaii, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like USA, Hawaii is part of the U.S. You know what? I'm done talking to you.
This is like the bad baby situation all over again.
Dude, I was like,
but anyways, getting away from our geopolitical side. Like I was trying to say, like I think it's a fight that makes perfect sense because for the White House, whoever wins that fight is gonna be like a perfect representation of like I don't know, just the White House can root for them. If Derek Lewis wins, he's funny as fuck. He's gonna say some funny shit on the mic. He's American. If Josh Hoggett wins, he's gonna get on the mic, say some maybe funny shit, jerk off DT a little bit.
Yeah. Oh
so it's a fun fight for the White House. I think it makes a lot of sense. Personally.
I did too. I think this fight just makes a lot of fun things, especially leading for the Freedom 250.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know why they call it the 250. I really don't. But
I really don't know.
I just don't know. But that kind of on the same subject with that Josh Hoggett fighting heavyweight.
Oh wait, it's the 250th anniversary of the United States. I think I just realized that.
Oh really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh nice. I should get them flowers. So
congratulations.
Congratulations. Me here only 20 years. You here long time and still asshole. Still asshole. Let's go. We have the light heavyweight fight. I think this was a really good part, kind of going out a little bit on the Josh Hoggett train, which was Asma versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa came up from middleweight to light heavyweight now.
Really impressive.
Looks very, very good.
Yeah.
Osman looked very quick for a light heavyweight for some weird reason.
He's small as well. I think is the thing.
And the cool thing about it is that we noticed that some of these weight division stuff are starting to blur in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Ilta Poirier coming up, Islam coming up. Now we got Josh Hoggett meeting at a heavyweight division. What's called, and he wrestled Bo Nickel in college.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Like these physicalities, they're starting to show like you don't have to try to be a weight bully or try to cut as much possible weight. I think you can do very well. And in my head, one of my favorite fighters of all time, all of our favorite fighters, and y'all's included because I know it, Charles Oliveira. What would happen if he fought a little bit higher division? What would his chin look like? How rejuvenated would he feel if he didn't have to murder himself every single time to cut weight? What do these fighters look like if they fight at a more simpler division for them, for their bodies in their careers? So I can't answer that because I don't know. But I do think that it brings up a really good question because Paulo Costa did absolutely phenomenal against Osman, a light heavyweight, a very good light heavyweight. I think Paulo Costa was unranked. Now he's ranked because he beat.
He's going to be highly ranked.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
In the light heavyweight division, which I think he belongs. His big mouth was saying that he wants to go back to 185,
Don't do that,
I'm like,
bro.
don't. You are doing
That's so
very
stupid,
yeah.
I feel like.
I think you're doing very well. I think his chin is so weak at 85. So how do you think light heavyweight looks for Paulo Costa?
That's kind of was going to be my next point. Well, first of all, let me just say, really impressive performance from Costa. I mean, it's kind of funny. When's the last time you see a guy move up a weight class and the guy he's fighting looks smaller than him?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, Osman was smaller than him. Costa looks huge. I mean, obviously, he's not the tallest guy, but clearly he can still handle himself. He looks really good on the feet. He just was fighting really intelligently.
Very intelligent.
I felt like, I mean, he's always been a good striker, but I feel like his biggest problem at times is just defense, putting it all together. He looks good one round and then he doesn't look as good the next round. You know,
especially
what I mean?
Keeping himself from burning out from round to round.
Yeah,
I think that's a good also indication because he noticed that Osman's a big threat. Yeah, especially how quick. So he defensively was kind of covering all of his bases. Yeah, and not trying to get himself in dumb places. And I think that for the Paulo Costa, be like, oh, he's not that good of a fighter. He's not very intelligent. This fight proved it completely wrong.
And I totally agree. And obviously, easy to say after he's won the fight, but honestly, I've always felt like this is a really skilled fighter. I felt like there's people he's lost to that I genuinely don't think he should have
lost.
Like, why did he? How does this man lose to Vettori?
Yeah,
that's terrible. He should have beat the shit out of Vettori.
I don't even know why Vettori's still in the UFC.
That's just crazy, man. And
Italian dream.
Oh my god, that guy is he's a dumbass. He's an Italian orc, bro.
I know. Hey, you guys.
He looks like the motherfucker from the Goonies, bro.
Yes, yeah. I was like, oh my goodness.
But yeah, Costa is such a fun fighter. I mean, it's just always fun when you see these guys at a heavyweight class, but that use so many weapons. He just has such a fun striking style. He can practically do any strike on the feet. Yeah. Really good kicks, man. His kicks are really underrated, and we saw that in this fight.
Yeah, kicked KO.
Yeah, that was sweet, man.
Head kick KO, and then he just fell to the ground.
That was a weird finish, though. I mean, do you think that his balance was really that off, or he was just like, I'm done. I'm hurt.
I think
I'm that hurt.
I think
my girlfriend was saying that too.
I think yes, it hurt immediately. He couldn't stand.
He was gonna get done dirty probably, but
he was just like, I don't think I can take any more of this.
And it's kind of funny being that he didn't have any losses before that. And I'm like, wow, like it really makes you think, like, did he really not have any like moments where he had to get through this before? You know what I mean?
And I think, and that does speak a little bit. Like, I'm not saying Paulo Costa is bad anymore because I was on a fraud check with him a little bit.
Fair.
But it does this kind of show a little bit the Osma like resume? Like what kind of competition were you fighting in the light heavyweight stuff? Because Paulo Costa is coming from middleweight to light heavyweight, and you lost him in kind of a amateur style loss. Like you didn't cover your bases. You could have been imposing. You're the bigger guy theoretically on the light heavyweight side. So it's like. Yeah. Like where are you standing on your on 10 toes on business? You're not. Someone's coming to your division. How are you not going to big bro them? Someone's coming to your spot. You know. That's why I was like, I think that also kind of like it's okay to get hit and be like, I'm kind of done. Mm-hmm. It's fine. You save yourself a lot of fucking damage. I'm not gonna lie. But Paulo Costa is great. I think. Who do you want him to fight next, though?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to get to next. I mean, I think at that point, I see no reason to slow roll him at 205. I mean, he's already into his prime or what. I don't even know how old he is, but, you know, it's not like he's like, we need to see where he's at. So Osma was ranked number 6, which is crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
So I think the most interesting fights that he could have next... I think Jamal Hill would be fine. It could be okay. Yeah. That's not my favorite of the bunch.
Same either.
Personally, I think Khalil Roundtree would be an awesome fight. I think that'd be a really fun fight.
That'd be a really fun fight.
It's a really dangerous. It's a tough fight, but I don't think it's unwinnable for Costa.
Okay.
I think I would probably pick Khalil, but I don't think Costa has no chance in that fight.
I got one for you now that I just thought about it.
Okay.
Paulo Costa fights the winner of Roundtree and Whitaker.
Is that fight happening? I don't remember.
Oh, Roundtree's fighting Whitaker for his first fight, remember?
Okay.
At least it was getting rumored.
I think it was heavily rumored. It's probably going to happen. I did forget about that.
But if that happens, then we can see Paulo Costa and Whitaker fighting again.
That would be funny.
At light heavyweight, which would be not a bad thing.
That's kind of weird, but I would be open to it.
Yeah. But that Jamal Hill fight, and not to... bash Jamal on the light heavyweight thing. Yeah. Out of being one of the more weaker champions and being kind of a controversial fighter, where it just makes it's hard to place him anywhere. It's just hard. Yeah. So I see him more being like a substitute backup just in case of any of the fights that you want to like line up happen. So
okay. The other one that I would say lastly would be I think so Bogdan Guskov is scheduled to fight Jan Blachowicz. I think the winner of that could be a solid fight. I think him versus Jan would be interesting. If they wanted to give him a lower ranked person, I would just say fuck it and just give him Dominic Reyes. That would be a solid fight as well. But I think my favorite of the bunch would be the winner of Khalil Whitaker. Yeah. I think that's the most interesting.
That would, especially it lines up with their next fight bout. couple months.
Yeah,
and then they
I
fight.
hope that fight does get announced. That's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
The idea of Whitaker moving up to 205 is kind of hard to
Scary,
believe.
yeah.
I feel like you'd think Khalil would fuck him up, but Whitaker is so skilled, you never know.
He's so
you know
fast.
what I mean?
Imagine fast with a little bit of power.
Yeah.
Pistons on all
It should be a good fight, though. It's just crazy because Whitaker fought at welterweight at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to believe.
And he's a big dude. Like,
Sure.
For like him just individually.
Yeah, definitely.
Big dude.
Definitely.
But hey, Josh Hokett's fighting a heavyweight. So
yeah, that's true.
That is true.
And we're just talking about Paulo Costa fucking becoming
Light
probably a
heavy-
top 6th ranked light heavyweight, which
Heavyweight.
is crazy to think about.
And I think craziness kind of talks a little about this entire main card because it is crazy. It is crazy
It was wild all around.
Because then we go into our
Everything was surprising, honestly.
Yeah, that's what. Well,
Did you expect Cub Swanson to win like that?
No.
Did you think Reyes' fight was gonna suck?
No.
Did you think Josh Hoka was gonna land 200 strikes?
No.
Did you think Paulo Costa was gonna knock out a number 6 a light heavyweight?
No.
And did you think that in the main event, Carlos Ulberg was gonna knock Jerry out in the first round and he was gonna blow out his ACL at the same time?
No.
Okay,
dude.
so getting into that.
So getting into like that light heavyweight championship fight of the world, the one that Yuri won before, the one that also. And I have issues with Yuri about this. I do. And not to be mean to him about it, but
No, go ahead, bro.
Yuri, you were winning the fight. Carlos Ulberg, freak accident. It happens.
That was crazy, man.
He was doing a big step back, and it just exploded.
I don't understand how that shit happens, but
I think he was going one way.
Man.
His leg was going the other way,
Yeah.
and then you just put so much weight on a rotated knee.
Man.
Bam! It just gone. But Carlos Ulberg dead in the water. Yuri, to confirm it, because I know that you confirmed it by kicking his leg over and over again.
He was kind of playing it right at first.
And I'm like, all right, his leg is done. He's done. He can barely hop on it and stuff like that. And then Yuri's just like pointing on the ground, trying to be honorable, trying to be respectful, trying to be this. I'm like, okay, like I don't know what's going on. And then kind of piecing on Carlos just a very little bit before he like leans in with his head, and Carlos just cracks him dead.
One hitter quitter, bro.
Yes, Yuri's out.
That was a crazy punch.
Speaking about Carlos's power,
oh my
first
God.
of all, and then Yuri being out. Carlos Ulberg won the UFC light heavyweight undisputed title with a blown out knee. With one leg, he won the fight.
Yeah.
Which was a crazy feat to do. But it was all on Yuri being absolutely just delusional. Delusional. Look, I get it. Yuri, you have this persona. This is who you are. All that stuff. If you met another samurai on the battlefield, they would not respect the code. They will try to kill you. It's just simple as that. You're in a thing, one that pays the bills and stuff like that. Your hopes and dreams, all that stuff are in front of you.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing? Like it's given up to you on a silver platter, and the first thing you do is be like, nah, not the way I want to win.
I'll give you a silver platter.
Yeah, I'm
actually.
like, I'm super upset about this because a lot of people want to go the honorable martial arts route that doesn't exist in real life. I'm sorry to tell you.
I don't think it's dishonorable to just win your fight. You
Well,
know what I mean?
yeah. Take them out easier.
Yeah.
It could be seeing them out, but in my head,
I don't think that's dishonorable.
I
honestly.
don't either.
It's a fight. You know what I mean?
Take them out.
Yeah.
Take them out. Put them out of his misery. You can. It's euthanizing, baby. So
literally, yeah.
But this is the thing. Like you guys want to respect and honor and stuff like that, but like, why? I don't get it. And then in the same breath, respectful, honorable, don't talk about my mama, don't talk about my religion, don't talk about this. But in the same breath, hey, we're street fighting. This is the closest thing to street fighting. I was like, okay, you can't have both. You can't have both. So either you be super respectful, stuff like that, you close the octagon, we'll throw hands and then call it a day. Or you say, oh, I'm all about that street fighting game, all this, all that. And then be like, but you can't talk about my mama. I was like, what are you doing? Like, go in there. Mm-hmm. You do exactly what you need to do to win, and then because you just did one of the most amateur mistakes on the planet. You let someone, you see blood, you take it. That's it. And then after that, be like, hey,
I'm sorry,
talk to them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to do that. I want to apologize, but I had to do my job. And like, that's cool. But oh my gosh.
And I don't know if I believe this. Maybe this is just them being an asshole, but Ulberg's Eugene Behrman, his coach, He claimed that if they got to the end of the round that they were going to throw in the towel because his knee was blown.
I think the doctors would come in and call it too.
That's so fucking crazy to think.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. Like, honestly, you said everything I want to say about Jiri's performance. I don't really want to harp on it too much just because it's just not the most fun way to think about the fight. Couple things to say outside of that. Shout out Carlos Ulberg. Amazing fighter.
Oh,
insanely skilled. Probably the best striker in this division.
Yes.
Right now.
Absolutely.
I would love to see him versus Pereira. I don't think it's going to happen now.
I don't.
But I'm just saying, I think he's that good of a striker. And this is one of those guys from the Adesanya camp, City Kickboxing, and you can see it. You know what I mean? You're like, this guy is that high level of a striker. He's really that good. And I just can't believe that he could even generate the power after blowing out his knee like that to knock someone out like that.
Rear leg too.
It was insane. 15-1. He's only has one loss in the UFC, which was quite a while ago. And yeah, I mean, sucks that he's going to be out for a long time. I don't know if they're going to do an interim or something like that.
I would like to.
I think they should. I think this is one of these cases where it actually makes sense to do an interim.
So I got two things then for you to answer them. So probably the hardest question I want to lead in with, and I have my personal opinion, but I want to hear yours first, which is, does Yuri come back to the championship fight again after this?
No,
I don't think so. I think this was his last opportunity. I think they're going to give him another
lost
fighter.
His last 3 championship fights?
No, he won one. Because he was the champion.
Yeah, but he lost his last 3. Because he lost to Pereira twice, and now he lost this one.
Oh,
Before that, he beat Glover.
Yeah. Which is not...
He's still an amazing fighter. I'm just answering your question.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get back to it.
No, I mean, but answering that Glover thing, I don't... unfortunately... I don't think that win is the best win championship-wise.
He was literally 42 years old when he won the championship or something like that.
So
and it was a dog fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, you're right. I don't think Yuri is going to come back to the championship scene, unfortunately, because I think the next competition they're going to give him is going to eat him.
I mean, to be fair, the division is not the deepest, so, it's not impossible, per se. But also, it's one of these guys, I mean, and you never know. No one's career is 1-to-1, but he is one of these guys that gives me Tony Ferguson vibes, where his style is so dangerous for him, and it might just come to a point where his body is just not gonna be able to do what his brain and his samurai way want him to do. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's ever been super durable. We've seen him get... I mean, to be fair, the people he's been knocked out by have insane amount of power. But regardless, I mean, this is a light heavyweight division. There's a lot of power from anyone. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to, keep up this style for forever. At least enough to get him to another championship opportunity. I'm not convinced.
No, Sam.
I don't think it's impossible, but after getting, like I said, he's lost his last 3 title fights, so I don't know.
They can't keep giving him more title fights. No. Okay, that gives me to my second question then.
Okay.
All right. Carlos Ulberg, if they let him heal respectfully and they don't force him to vacate the title, if they do all the right, do you see him staying as champion?
That's a tough question to answer. I mean, this division is so shallow, man.
Yeah, I know.
So kind of yes.
I see him staying on top.
I think him versus Ankalaev is an interesting fight. I think that's not an easy fight.
I see.
So it depends how he can rebound from this injury. This is a huge injury for this point in your career. He's not actually a young guy. He's 34 or something like that.
Is he?
Yeah, I thought he was younger than that. Excuse me, but he's not. Let me check.
Hey, at least he can retire if he needs to as a champion.
That's funny. He just never fights again. That would be crazy. Yes, he is 35 years old. He's not young. He's had a lot of careers before this. If you know, you know. He was a stripper before this.
Oh, that's hot.
I
was also a stripper
still a
in
professional.
Japan.
Oh, yeah.
For my boys that know, you know. So
heard that story before. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like usually when people become champion, you have an impulse to be like, oh my God, they're so good. They can beat all these guys. But I don't think there's no one that I see in the division where I'm like, wow, this is a nightmare matchup for him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess. What do you? I mean, it's hard to say that confidently after I just saw him shatter his knee.
Yeah, especially at 35.
That's a fucking tough comeback.
Yeah.
What do you think about that question, though?
Actually, now that we confirmed that he's 35, now confirming that his layoff, now that
That's rough, man.
I don't think he's coming back now.
You think
really.
he's done?
I think that by the time
He's gonna come back.
I think if he comes back, that's a late age to get a torn ACL.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
If you're in any other sport, your career would be over.
Yeah.
If you're in the NFL, first of all, most people in the NFL or NBA suck by the time they're 35.
Yeah.
So if you blew your ACL, your career is basically over.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Kevin Durant or something like that, which is like one of the best. I almost said fighters, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, most athletes, that's your career is done if you blow your fucking. I mean, it looked like he shattered his whole damn leg.
Yeah,
I mean,
same. So okay, so I say on the positive note, he won a championship belt.
Of course, man.
Let him heal and stuff like that. On kind of like a negative note, if he doesn't come back quick enough, age is gonna get him. If the ACL is not,
Sure.
but. Who knows?
It's very
I'm just happy, Carlos Ulberg. You deserve the belt. You've won it. You got it. Kind of going into kind of like the next part of it, which is our segments for the next week's predictions, and then we're gonna go into our Mount Rushmore for the day.
I think we're gonna hit this Mount Rushmore
right now.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you know what? Let's do our predictions because I think we can keep those pretty quick. I don't think I have too much to say about these predictions. So, and I think the Mount Rushmore is more the fun finale. So hit those prelims. Here, go back, go up. So I will just start it off right away. First fight, we got Jamie Siraj versus John Giannis. They got some real random people on this card. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
You want me to just tear through this?
Yeah, I don't.
You want to? You could just hop on the main card or anything that you got something to say with. I got Jamie Siraj, sub round 2 versus John Giannis. Next fight, John Castaneda, nicknamed Sexy Mexi, versus Mark Volodin.
We've seen Castaneda fight before.
Definitely. I'm going Castaneda only because on Tapology it said he fights out of Minnesota, which I did not know that. We're going to have to do some more research after the card before that. We got to get his ass on the podcast or something like that.
We always go for our Sexy Mexis, okay?
Sexy Mexi and from Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
That's the Juan special right there.
Let's go.
Next up, we got JJ Aldridge versus James Linhorth. I'm going James Linhorth by decision. Both of these are pretty mid-tier women's flyweight fighters, but I'm not a big JJ Aldridge person. Next up, we got Mitch Raposo versus Alan Nascimento. This is actually a solid fight. I'm going to go with Alan Nascimento sub round 2. That man has a hell of a lot of submissions.
Okay, let's get it.
Next up, we got Melissa Croden versus Daria Zalezhnyukova. That's a really tough last name. I got Croden TKO round 2. Okay, now we're getting to the fights that I'm like actually know a little bit more about these people. Respectfully. I'm going to watch all of them. Yeah, I didn't know Tanner Bosner was still in the UFC. This was one of my most like favorite mid-heavyweights a couple of years ago, just because he like won a lot of fights off just leg kicking people in the heavyweight division, which is really funny to me. And also he got a tooth knocked out, I'm pretty sure, in a fight. Oh my gosh. Or maybe he just had one missing and he just didn't put it back in. I fuck with Tanner Bosner. He is Canadian, and this is a Canada card, I think it is. But
that's why Malott's fighting on it.
Yeah, that's no other way he'd get a main event. Yeah. But I got Gokhan Sadikam round 1 TKO versus Tanner Bosner. Just some more up and coming fighter, and yeah, I just think he's going to be able to get him out of there on the feet. Next up, we got Robert Valentin versus Julien Leblanc. This is actually a really fun fight. Valentin's been a lot of fun scraps. They've done him pretty dirty with the matchmaking recently. They had him against like Ateba Gautier, who we know I've sung the praises of. They've just put him up, and then I think they put him up against Torres Finney, that one guy who is he's like a middleweight, but he's like super short and built like a fucking NFL linebacker.
Oh my god!
You know, you'd recognize him if you saw him. But I'm just saying they haven't been doing him any favors with the matchmaking. This one was tough for me to call. I'm going to give it to Valentin. He's 0-3 in the UFC, but I don't know.
God.
I just have a feeling that he's going to pull this one out. And I think it'll be a late TKO in a war, so I got him by TKO round 3. Can you tell that we're more excited about the last week of fights and our goalless than this fight night? To the main card now.
Okay.
We got Dennis Bazooka. That's a funny last name. Versus Marcio Barbosa. This is a solid fight.
I got Barbosa on
I'm
this
going
one.
Barbosa TKO round 1. Okay. Personally. Bazooka. I'm calling him Bazooka from now on.
I like that.
My granny got hit by Bazooka. Bazooka. She's a fun fighter, but I gotta go with Marcio Barbosa.
Okay, so we got a young prospect coming on the next one, which you got lightweight. Thiago Moises versus, is that Gage?
Gage Young, yeah.
Gage Young, 25.
Yeah.
Moises is 33.
Yeah, 33? Quite a bit. 31. Oh my god, I thought it was older than that. Yeah, in the sense I was thinking like, shit, this fight was hard for me to call, mainly because Moises, we've seen him
consistent
check a couple people before when we go, oh, this guy's kind of old, da 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 da. But he's quite skilled.
Yes.
And he's had a couple upset victories. But in his last fight, I don't even remember this. He got TKO'd by Jared Gordon, bro. Ooh. That is bad. Jared Gordon doesn't knock anyone out. Like, that's crazy.
He loses to Paddy Pimblett.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But I don't know. I still think Thiago Moises is a really skilled fighter.
I'm really feeling this young guy, this Gage Young. 25.
This young guy.
This young guy. Yeah. 25. We've been noticing a lot of young prospects coming in the last couple weeks that are game. They are game. I don't know if it's the Paramount era. I don't know if there's something in the water, but they're here to take out some veterans. And Moises is a veteran of the sport, 19-9. Mm-hmm. Gage 25, 10-3. But is this a quick question? Is this Young's debut?
I'm almost certain. Here, we can take a little look, see if we click on him right here. Yeah, this is his debut. Yeah.
I think this is going to be, if they're matching him with Moises on his first debut, is a pretty high prospect if they're thinking about it.
Sounds like Moises, you're going Young.
I am going Young.
I'm going to go Moises just to disagree with you.
I got you.
This was a tough one for me to pick. Next up, this is actually an extremely high-level women's fight. Should honestly be slightly higher on the card, I would say. We got Karine Silva versus Jasmine Gedevicius. This is a really good fight. Whoever wins this is going to be right in the mix for a title fight.
Okay.
I'm going to go Jasmine. She's just on a crazy streak right now.
I'll go Silva.
But this is a really solid fight. And I got Jasmine by decision.
Really? I got Silva by submission first round.
Both of these women are finishers though.
That's what I was saying.
So I'm very much looking forward to this fight actually. Next up, I really don't know why this fight is higher than that last fight. Both those girls are like ranked top 5. That's kind of disrespectful, I'm not gonna lie. We got Jai Herbert versus Mandel Nalo. Jai Herbert, as you guys know, probably from watching highlight reels, dangerous on the feet. Maybe the closest man to ever beating Ilia Topuria. This is the guy that head kicked Topuria.
Oh yeah, in the first one.
Yeah, and then he had him rocked badly.
Dude, I'm surprised that Topuria got
put in a body bag by Topuria.
Topuria's like, I took that personal.
Yeah, that was.
Are you done beating the shit out of me? Because I'm gonna knock you out.
This is when Topuria fought at lightweight before he. This was like a late. I don't know if it was like a late notice fight against Jai Herbert, but for whatever reason he was fighting at lightweight back when he was normally a flyweight before the move up.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, this is a pretty Herbert is pretty much a pure striker. Mondell, I haven't seen much of, but I'm gonna go with him by submission. He has a lot of submissions on his record, and I feel like if he's able to get it down, he will be able to submit him. But Jai Herbert, as we've seen, can be a problem for anyone on the feet. So
Topuria, for example.
Yeah.
So I got Jai Herbert. It'll be crazy in an alternate universe. He does very well. Meets Topuria in light heavyweight again.
Light heavyweight.
Lightweight again.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Honestly, co-main event, probably my favorite fight on the card. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really entertaining fight. We got Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. What do you think about this one?
So I am a massive Jourdain fan.
Yeah,
Jourdain fan. He's a great persona, great energy, great aura about him. That he's just always game. He just wants to have fun. He thinks about. He doesn't really think about trying to get upward. He's just focused on the fights. He just wants to fight. And I think that's a really good part of who he is. Kyle Phillips is more of a flashier fighter than, if I remember correctly.
Definitely.
He's more of all about that technique, kind of like not showboating per se.
He's kind
but
of a flashy striker.
yeah, he's like a styler, kind of like he likes to style on people.
Definitely.
And I feel like that might be fitting for Jourdain's style, where he likes people to let him go forward. And for a styler fighter, they like to be a little bit on the back foot, and I feel like that's going to play a little bit to Jourdain's style, which is aggressive, forward-moving, power-hitting shots. And especially if Jourdain's able to get into a flow, we know his famous Spartan kick. I think he's able to take off Phillips early. I think maybe second round, I want to say. But I got him winning this fight by KO.
Okay. Respect. Personally, I'm actually going with Kyler Phillips on this one. Ooh. That is my actual prediction. I'm not just purely trying to piss Juan off.
Always trying to piss me off.
Jourdain, really good, really happy with the success he's had in the UFC. I never would have guessed that he would be. I mean, obviously not like he's like some top 10 fighter, but he's really good.
Yes,
and he's
talented.
One of these guys that seemingly is going to have a long career in the UFC, whether he's going to be ranked or not. You know, he's just really quite solid.
Yeah. And he's getting a name for himself.
He is.
Starting to go on co-mains. He's starting to go a little bit, which is deserved. Like, some of these fighters should be fighting to be main.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, makes sense for the Canada card because I think he's Canadian.
He is Canadian.
Pretty sure. So that makes perfect sense, honestly, now that I think about it.
That was one of my red flaws.
I think this is going to be a pretty close fight. Yeah, Charles Jourdain, ultra aggressive, really nasty guillotine as we've seen. Kyler Phillips, I don't know. He's a really good striker. We've seen him struggle against some people with more power, so it could be an issue. I just think he'll be able to edge out Jourdain slightly on the feet, and I don't know if Jourdain's wrestling is really good enough to be
Phillips implemented is a good grappler.
that heavily. But really tough fight to pick. I'm just going with Phillips by decision. I just think he'll be able to edge him out from range slightly. Next up, we got the main event, Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. This is not even the most interesting fight to me, honestly.
I'm trying
Feels like a setup a little bit.
I'm trying to motivate myself to remember Gilbert.
Yeah,
Burns,
same.
So Malott is the up-and-comer into this fight. So he's the guy that's moving upward into fighting competition like Gilbert Burns. But Gilbert Burns hasn't fought in a while, one. And then second, he's had a lot of downhills because I think what is his last fight? Was it Hosma his last fight?
No, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. His last fight was Michael Moraes. He got knocked out in the first round in May of 20. It's almost a year ago.
Yeah,
and he has lost. Dude, he has lost 4 fights in a row, all to the best of the best. But regardless, he lost to Moraes, then he lost to Brady by decision, then he lost to Madalena by TKO, and then he lost to Bilal. His last win was Jorge Masvidal in April of 2023. So he hasn't won in 3 years. That's tough, not going to lie, bro. That's really
That
tough.
is tough because the competition is kind of like...
He's 39, too.
Oh, my goodness. So, I think Malott's gonna win, and unfortunately, I think he's gonna win by KO.
I think so. In a 5-round fight, you'd think he would find his chance to hurt Burns, who historically doesn't have the greatest chin, anyways.
Honestly, that Chimaev
fight kind of proved that wrong, maybe.
But I think it's not even that he has a bad chin. I just think mentally his mental game falls a little bit, which is not a bad thing. It's a very normal thing. You just got to build your strengths around it, but. My biggest thing is I think Mike Malott is just going to be the younger fighter, hungry, chasing him down, trying 100%. To gas him out. I think Burns is a one-trick pony in the sense where it's like he has usually one route to victory, which is submission game. I know he's got some TKOs in there and all stuff, but I think it's going to be hard to box up a quick striker like Malott. So I don't really have too much to say, but I love Burns. I love Gilbert Cutman Burns when he was very popular with the Cutman's era. But I think I don't see him having a clear victory. I would love if he proves me wrong.
That'd be awesome.
But if he proves us wrong, it's just going to lead into a more difficult fight for him as an older fighter, which is going to be just as difficult to kind of predict.
Yeah, and I'm not a big Malott guy, to be honest with you. I kind of have a hard time believing that he's going to find success against higher ranked competition. He's very well rounded, but I'm just not overly impressed with him in any singular dimension. I mean, we're talking about the guy that he was TKO'd by Neil Magny in round 3. He gassed out
in round one too.
And I get that Neil Magny is solid, and he's done that against multiple people, but that's just kind of a scary one to me. And at this point, Mallott's best win is a unanimous decision over Kevin Holland, who's a great fighter, but that's not exactly,
unanimous decision.
We'll have to see. You know what I mean? I'm doubting him a little bit after this fight, but I think he'll TKO Burns in maybe the second or third round.
Yeah. Well, and let us know what you guys think about about this card. About if Mike Mallott's going to beat Timothy, if Charles Jourdain is going to come up in the top 5. Let us know anything crazy.
Yeah.
We love to hear it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and this kind of gets us into a little segue for our month. Rushmore.
Yeah.
This is uno, and that is dos, and that is tres, and that is cuatro.
Yeah,
that's
so
4.
only 4 fighters. So, I mean, obviously, if we're doing like a GOAT, there's always people that are just barely don't make it, you know what I mean? So that's what makes it entertaining.
I'll definitely have to note some honorable mentions. Almost 100%, missed it, dude.
100%. So, before we get into it, I kind of, just because there's been so few champions at featherweight, I think the lightweight division was kind of the more interesting one.
I thought featherweight
was more. Okay, so, I mean, I guess we'll just keep it consistent. We've been going down in the weight classes, so shall we start at lightweight?
Absolutely, baby.
Okay, who wants to go first? And then this is such a great series. I'm
go
surprised we haven't
first
got back
on
to
this one.
Okay,
and
man.
I had ChatGPT obviously help me organize my thoughts because I kept putting so many notes down.
Okay.
And then it kept organizing everything for me. So so I'll give you I'll give you 2 Mount Rushmores because I would like to go this way.
2? What do you mean 2
for
Mount
for the light heavyweight? So one
lightweight.
and then I kind of have a little hot take one. If you give me the opportunity, kind of
do your thing, man. I don't know why we were doing 2 lightweights, but. So this is probably the greatest, and then like your favorite.
No. This is just like, okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just give you the spicy one. Dude.
Do your thing.
All right.
I'm terrified, but do your thing.
Oh man, okay.
ChatGPT deleted her.
Okay, so.
What you get for trusting a robot? Clanker.
Oh, dang, Clanker. All right, lightweight, 155. Hot take Mount Rushmore is the name of this. Zeke, if you're watching this. Put your cowboy hat on, turn around, and ride into the sunset, baby. All right.
That's what happens when you move to Florida, bro.
I know. You just wearing cowboy hats.
He started wearing cowboy hats and bought a truck, bro.
I know. You dang cops. All right. So I got number 1. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say his name. I've never really liked him as a champion, but it's very hard to not put him very high, which is Khabib.
Okay. What? Yeah, of course.
I know he just has so many title defenses.
That's the easiest one to put on this list.
I wanted to put him 2.
I didn't even do an order, honestly, but I can think of an order if that's what we're doing.
No, I don't think an order is fine. If that's the case, I would have started on the other one. But I think they don't really have an order, unfortunately. That's the cool thing about the Mount Rushmore. They're just very important
who's
figures.
Included, who's not included. You know what I mean?
Number 2 is hard to not like him, especially I didn't like him initially, and then he just became the funniest meme guy, which is Islam Makhachev.
Okay, yeah.
Really well-founded, more well-rounded than Khabib. Fought more elite guys. The resume is more better than Khabib. So I think that he's definitely my Mount Rushmore.
100%.
All right, number 3, and I think you're gonna love number 3.
I think this is where it gets more interesting. Honestly, I think those 2 are pretty much guaranteed to be on there.
All right, I got Tony Ferguson as my number 3.
Wow.
I know it's controversial, but 12-fight win streak in the division in the Shark Tank era is crazy. Killers back to back. Prime Tony was a matchup for a nightmare matchup for anybody and everybody, especially it should have been a Khabib versus him in prime time. And it just never happened. It just never happened. Unfortunately,
I wish we would have got that fight.
And
I think you would have lost, but I
think
just
so
wanted to see it. You know, I want to believe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then I think my number 4, and which is personally for me my number 1, Charles the Bronx Oliveira.
Okay.
Most finishes in the UFC history.
Yeah.
Ran through Chandler, something like that. My honorable mentions that we're gonna make it on the list.
Okay.
Is Frankie Edgar.
Of course, yeah.
And then Conor McGregor. He just did the most for the. It just did the most. I know. I wanted.
How do you get a bad honorable mention,
bro?
Terrible.
I wanted him in the list. Just don't judge me.
I was afraid that you were gonna put him on the list.
I was gonna put him on the list, but I'm like, you know what?
He literally has like 2 wins at the weight class.
Bro, that's crazy.
Wait.
But okay, wait. There's another one that I wanted to put, but I just don't like him as much as other people like him.
Which was who?
BJ Penn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think his losses speak so much awful. I think one of the things that people talk about by BJ Penn being so good, I like it. I think he's really phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at his resume, if you just look at his stats and kind of look around who he is and what wins and losses he had, he never had a prime.
I think, honestly think that, and I'll go right into my list in a second, I honestly think BJ Penn fares better in an all-time ranking rather than just a specifically lightweight ranking because we're talking about someone that won a belt at welterweight as well.
Yeah.
So I think he would be higher in an overall GOAT ranking for me than just a lightweight ranking.
Okay.
Because he had he had a lot of achievements outside of just lightweight. You know what I mean? So was that your ranking that was supposed to be a hot take or no? I thought that was pretty calm for your standards.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I wanted to put Conor McGregor on there bad.
I thought that was like
I just didn't
really
want to get cooked by that.
No, you gotta do your thing. I thought that was like a very even keeled Mount Rushmore for yourself. So I will just go right into it. Obviously I have Khabib 13-0 in the UFC, 3 title defenses. He has wins over Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Edson Barboza, Rafael dos Anjos, and Ali Quinta. And then I have Islam, who was 16-0 in the division, 4 title defenses, Volkanovski twice, Dustin Poirier, Manny Moicano, Charles Oliveira, young Arman Tsarukyan, and Dan Hooker.
I like that you put Moicano in there because I'm like, I think that is a very important,
deservable name
to be like, I beat that guy.
Yeah. So and you were and I don't. This is a different conversation, but looking at these resumes, I was kind of trying to think like who is better all time,
especially the title defenses dropped significantly after that.
I think that I think people would discredit Khabib's resume a lot, but I think it is actually quite good because he did beat prime versions of Conor, Dustin, Gaethje, Barboza, and RDA. That's really, really good. Where Islam beat Volkanovski twice, one of them debatable if he even won, and we're talking about a 145er for Islam, who now fights at 170. So to me, I'm like, I don't even know how highly I rate those sort of wins. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously great. Of course, beating Volkanovski is great, but the context of that is important. And then he beat a Dustin, who obviously was less in his prime than Khabib beat. Moicano's a good win. Oliveira is probably his best win. I think so, I would argue, because it's a prime Oliveira, and obviously that's one of the one guys that people always wanted Khabib to fight. And Arman Tsarukyan is a great win, but it was literally his first fight in the UFC, and he was like 22 years old or some shit. So I think that I don't know if people rate more highly, but I think it's pretty close, honestly. I think it's very close, honestly.
I think if you match up grapplers against strikers, I think that's where it starts tilting a little bit more.
So you would give the edge to Islam because he beat Oliveira, Moicano, Arman.
Some of these more
difficult matchups.
Higher caliber grapplers compared to the Khabib striker.
I get that. And also, I think Khabib was a more dominant fighter. That's the one thing. He never had any close fights other than one. You know what I mean? Whereas Islam, that Volk fight was competitive. I don't know. I thought Volk won that fight when I won it. Okay, so next up, this was a very difficult list for me to do, honestly, because I think there's a lot of great options outside of these guys. I did include Charles Oliveira. I wasn't certain about that, to be honest with you. Okay. But yeah, I mean, he had 3 title wins, 12-fight win streak, finishes over Gaethje, Poirier, Kevin Lee, Michael Chandler, Dariush, Chandler again. Well, I think he had a decision against Chandler, and also now he beat Holloway. So that resume in and of itself is just insane. So I think you kind of have to include him, and I do want to give respect to. There's a lot of historically great older lightweight fighters, and I think it really just depends on how you look at it. But when it comes to Habib, Islam, and Oliveira, just their level of competition is just so fucking crazy.
Yes.
The guys that they've beaten are like championship level fighters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So for my last spot. Probably shocking to those of you that know me, I wanted to include Tony Ferguson.
Ooh.
I couldn't put him on this list. I just, looking back, that's probably my favorite fighter of all time. Fighter that really got me to be hardcore in the UFC. I just love Tony Ferguson. I love everything about him. Champ shit only. But just, he never made it to win that title. And I think that his wins, while good, are not as great as they seemed at the time. I mean, Cowboy, Kevin Lee, Barboza. That's kind of his best wins.
Pettis?
Did he beat Pettis? He did beat Pettis.
Yeah.
So that's a great resume. I'm not saying this as a disagreement towards yourself. He was in the mix. My fourth Mount Rushmore was Frankie Edgar, though.
Okay, I respect the Frankie Edgar part.
It was tough.
That dude, Prime was
and this guy,
menace.
We're talking about a guy. He has 3 title defenses. At his peak, he was 10-1 in the UFC, 2 wins over BJ Penn, and 2 wins over Gray Maynard. All great fights. And honestly, I know this is kind of semantics, but to me, can't be forgotten. We're talking about a guy that was arguably fighting 2 weight classes above where he should have been. Yeah. He is the smallest lightweight champion by far. Mm-hmm. I think he's 5'6".
Chingao.
And we've seen him go down to 145 later in his career, and we've seen him go down to bantamweight even later in his career.
That is pretty
This
crazy.
is genuinely a man that if he was modernly in the UFC, he probably should have been fighting at bantamweight in his prime. And the fact that he's beaten BJ Penn, who was a welterweight champion twice. It's just extremely impressive. I would like to give honorable mentions to a lot of lightweight.
Conor McGregor?
Nope, not even close. He was not even close. All respect to Conor McGregor, but he did a lot more at featherweight, which we'll get to later, than he did at lightweight. At lightweight, he fucking lost to Nate Diaz once. Let me not fucking discredit him. But my honorable mentions would be, of course, Tony Ferguson, Benson Henderson, underrated. One of the most underrated UFC fighters ever, I think. People don't give him his deserved respect. Really great. Obviously, BJ Penn, legend of the game. Anthony Pettis, underrated.
Yeah. Underrated
lightweight champion. He had a really good streak going on there. And I think that's... And also... Actually, funny enough, one of the closest guys to making my list, other than me, maybe BJ Penn or maybe Tony Ferguson, was actually Dustin Poirier.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't put him on the list simply because, similar to Tony, he never made it to that true championship belt. He won an interim belt. But it's hard for me to put a guy on the list whenever he did fight the champion, he lost. He lost to Habib, he lost to Islam, he lost to Oliveira.
Yeah.
But in terms of who he has wins over, it's among the best in the UFC. In terms of name quality of wins, he's up there with just about anyone that isn't one of the best fighters of all time. You know what I mean? He has wins over Holloway, wins over Eddie Alvarez, just so many good wins on his resume. And I think someday we will do a list of the greatest fighters to never win a UFC championship. I don't count interim as a championship.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be.
I don't either. But that's
I think he's arguably the best fighter to never win a championship.
Well, that's like when on your point on your Tony Ferguson part, it was like a very, very thing that like you wanted to on stuff. But it's like he's one of the guys that he had a chance to fight for a lightweight undisputed belt that he could have won.
Yeah.
But he just never had the opportunity. It just kept being taken away time-wise, scheduling-wise. So I think that's pretty dang amazing.
I like both of our lists. Though.
I love.
I mean,
Gunnar
we
as
totally
well.
agreed. It was Tony and it was Frankie Edgar, and I don't think either of those are.
I changed my list. Number one is Conor McGregor. Let's go.
Okay, so let us know down below what you guys think of those. Who would you guys have in your Mount Rushmore? I suspect that most people are probably going to have Habib and Islam. Most people probably going to have Oliveira too.
Cut from the list on purpose, and the Conor McGregor's at the bottom.
So yeah, let us know who you guys think is deserving of that top 4 position. And we're moving to our featherweight Mount Rushmore. To me, this was a less interesting one, simply because there's only been 5 featherweight champions. I'm pretty sure. So there's not a lot to pick from.
Well, let me go first then. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see how you think about my hot take on this one.
Go ahead,
because I really wanted. I feel like the featherweight division was in a big back and forth for a long time.
I think
and
it's a
then
very prestigious division.
Yes.
All the champions in this division are some of the greatest UFC fighters ever.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Obviously, we know who's number one off the bat. It's Alexander Volkanovski, the great Volkanovski. I think he's over Aldo. I think he beat the best in
those are definitely the top 2, though, right? Not to interrupt you.
No, yeah, that's definitely top 2.
Okay.
Adaptability. And then Jose Aldo, still Timothy.
Yeah.
And then all of those title defenses is just insane.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh, my goodness. All right, number 3. We got Max Holloway. Resume is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Big 3-0. Very this is a very simple one, but I think my maybe 4 is kind of where it gets spicy, which I put.
4 is the more interesting debate.
Yeah, which is Ilta Poirier.
Okay.
Ilta Poirier. I wanted to put Conor there.
Wow.
But I put Ilta Poirier because of
his wins are pretty impressive.
Yeah, doing things to Holloway and Volkanovski, the greats, and still in their primes. They're not they left it out. They were in their most athletic, capable.
Yeah.
So that's insane. And I think if Jose Aldo wasn't there, he probably would have taken him out too. Honestly.
Well, yeah.
Ilta Poirier is just that guy with just all of the power, all of the speed, all of the IQ, the viciousness, and especially after his divorce, Gaethje. I'm sorry, it had to be you.
Been done dirty at UFC 250.
But don't think that I'm counting you out, Gaethje.
Freedom 250.
I'm going to give you a whole game plan to do it, and it's just talk about him and his wife splitting up, and then just hit him really hard.
Yeah.
So, but I did want to kind of give an honorable mention to Chad Mendes.
Sure.
And Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, an icon. And I think the thing about it is, I think Conor McGregor transcends these lists a little bit, not for the resume,
100%.
but for lightweight and this. It's just Conor McGregor.
He is the notorious.
Yes, and he's just the icon of the UFC. And we know who the few icons are, which is the John Jones, the Conor McGregor, the Tony Ferguson, some of these monsters that are icons that
just snuck in
transcended.
that one ugly dragon next to putting Tony Ferguson and John Jones and Conor conversation is setting them up for failure.
But I do think that I love Conor McGregor. He's one of my favorite fighters, if not the closest number one fighter of all time for me. But the thing about it is, it's hard to put him in a spot where being there maybe just a fight or two longer would have really solidified his spot in both divisions.
Yeah.
But the problem is, he wasn't in there for the fights. He was in there for the bag. Yeah. And he got the bag, and he doubled it, and he tripled it, and quadrupled it, and he did what he wanted to do, and he's out. Cool. Can I still think about some what ifs? Yeah, but at the same point, isn't that what the sport is? No, it's not really what ifs. It's just what you got, and when you
100%.
you call what you see what real is, and you call what real is, and then when time and people like Ilta Poirier has come around and be like, oh, I can kind of live my what if Conor McGregor through Ilta Poirier, or I can live my what if Charles Oliveira through Arman Tsarukyan, that's the cool thing about this sport, and I think I like that I don't get to put Conor McGregor in these lists because he is in his own iconic list. But that's my featherweight thing. I think it's hard because so little champions and dominant champions have taken it for many years. 100%. So
yeah, and I just to quickly address what you said. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that I actually kind of completely forgot what I was going to say. But I think Conor McGregor is just kind of in a space of his own. Okay, I remember. You're talking about hypotheticals with Conor McGregor. Yeah, he is one of those guys that I do sometimes think, oh, what if he would have stayed at featherweight? But it's But also, like, do you really want that? Like, he was the first double champ. Like, his career is his career, and how it went was just how it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he did what he needed to do in the UFC. So getting to my list, yeah, I mean, the top 3 are pretty chalk, in my opinion. Whether you have Volk or Aldo, number 1, I think those are the 2 best guys. Clearly, I have Volk as my first pick. He has fucking 8 title wins.
That's insane.
Which is crazy at this day and age in the UFC. 3 wins over Holloway. Number 2, debatable, but regardless, he won that fight. Ortega, Lopez twice, Yair Rodriguez, Korean Zombie, Jose Aldo.
Korean Zombie post and military, too.
Yeah. Chad Mendes. I mean, that resume is insane, man. He is one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, not just featherweight.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Jose Aldo. Pre-Conor McGregor, this man was 24-1. And if we're including WEC, which we should because there was no featherweight division in the UFC before WEC got absorbed into the UFC. So I'm including those title wins as, you know what I mean, legitimate title defenses. He was 24-1 before Conor McGregor. 10 title wins. Uriah Faber, Chad Mendes twice, Korean Zombie, Frankie Edgar. I mean, the list goes on. But 24-1 with 10 title wins. In my opinion, one of the most underrated UFC fighters of all time. One of the greatest UFC fighters of all time.
Yeah.
And what more can you say? Next up, we have Max Holloway, who I think, I mean, honestly, man, Max Holloway, and I say this not in a negative way, he is truly a victim of going against some of the greatest UFC fighters of all time in his division. When he was on his streak, he felt like he was no doubt one of the, you know what I mean? Like, gonna do even more. But unfortunately for him, Alexander the Great Volkanovski really fucked up this man's title defense, pathway or whatever you want to say, as well as Ilia Topuria. But regardless, he is definitely the 3rd greatest featherweight of all time. Crazy win streak, 4 title wins, beat Aldo twice, beat Ortega, beat Frankie Edgar, beat Pettis. Awesome resume. Unfortunately for him, Volkanovski came out of nowhere. Seems like.
Yes.
I still remember when he lost, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened? Who's this Kiwi fuck that just leg kicked Holloway to a decision?"
Dude, I know. I'm so mad.
I was so pissed off when that happened.
I was like, I don't like this Australian.
It's funny how
3 years later, I love this Australian.
What I was gonna say. It's crazy how, like, not until so much later did people start liking Volkanovski, because the first fight, people were like, bro, you just took out Max Holloway, our boy. And then the second fight, they're like, bro, you just robbed Holloway, our boy, which, is debatable. Could have went either way, of course. But now he's like one of the most liked UFC fighters ever, it feels like.
Yeah.
So this 4th spot is where it gets hairy. Obviously, the debate is between the only 2 champions that exist in the UFC, which is Conor McGregor and Ilia Topuria. I'm not going to lie. I think I feel like I had one picked out, and the closer it's got to this podcast, I've just become less and less sure of who I wanted to pick. But I don't know. My heart says Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
But my brain says Ilia Topuria.
I think
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. That's what I was stuck on, because I was like, as I was getting closer, I was like, I'm gonna say Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Conor McGregor. But then I was like, my heart, my opinion, me as an individual entity, Conor McGregor all day.
Yeah.
But the podcast though, it's Ilia Topuria.
It's I think so, but also I think that I have to say that I think, and I hate this because I love Aldo, but I have to say that I think Conor McGregor's win over Jose Aldo is arguably the best win in UFC history.
I think so too.
I was just fucking glazing this guy for like 5 minutes. We're talking about a guy that was 24-1 with 10 title defense, 10 title wins. And Conor McGregor knocked him out in one punch.
Yep, 13 seconds.
I mean,
baby.
is that not? That's probably the greatest UFC win of all time.
Of all time.
So I mean, obviously, I think that beating Volkanovski and Holloway is just name-wise is superior to beating Aldo and Chad Mendes. Very close.
And if I can interject for a little bit, just because I love talking about that Jose Aldo fight and Conor McGregor. the world thought Jose Aldo all day, 100%. Conor McGregor.
I don't know.
Irishman.
Probably diehard UFC fans thought that. Yeah.
Well, at least where it was leading up to it. Everyone thought Jose Aldo, 10 title defenses, monster.
It probably was hard to imagine him losing at that point. Yeah.
No one can really take him out. And then Conor McGregor, an up-and-comer. He was a prospect, not even a contender.
Yeah.
Prospect coming up. And little by little, media started covering Conor. Conor started talking more and more insane. And it didn't turn into the fan base of Aldo, the fan base of Conor. It didn't turn to brand. It just turned into Conor and Aldo, one side of the talking, another side talking. This is it. It just kind of turned into an individual 1v1 vocal conversation until the fight. That's it. And Aldo can kind of tell that Conor was that guy, was him.
Yeah,
he was a problem. He was a threat.
Who is this guy? Yeah.
And like, why this guy is talking like he believes that he's gonna beat me. I believe that he believes that, and then it just starts snowballing. And if you were there witnessing every television thing, like, oh my god, like what's going to happen?
I was not. As a young person,
you should watch it. If you get to YouTube,
I've seen every clip in existence.
If you watch YouTube, look up the Jose Aldo Conor McGregor timeline, and it will show you. And it's actually a really fun watch.
Okay.
And it gets to a point where Jose Aldo is starting to seem like you're not fighting me, I'm fighting you.
Yeah, it's like he kind of took over as the A side just in the lead up to that fight, which is crazy.
Everything was still favored for Aldo, but in that 1v1 of just them looking at each other, Aldo thought he was fighting him. Yeah. And then Octagon Day shows up. Skill sets are gonna talk. Everything's gonna go. And just like Conor predicted, just like every audience started noticing that Jose Aldo looks a little tense.
Yeah.
And then came in, 13 seconds, won. Conor McGregor, as Conor McGregor before the Icon took over, was the happiest young man on the planet. 27 years old, won championship belt.
Wow, you know everything.
Dude, I do.
Speaking of hypotheticals, I would have loved to have seen that rematch.
I would have too.
That would just been. It's one of those fights where you go. And again, one of the greatest UFC wins of all time. Hard to believe it goes like that a second time.
I don't think. I think Conor wins.
I think it was the build up to that fight that really caused that to go how
I think Conor still wins skill set wise.
Sure, but it's certainly a debate.
But I do think that it's a war. At that point.
I would agree.
I think it wouldn't go to decision. I still think that Conor's power and precision will still win. But I do think that Jose Aldo is not going to rush.
I'm not even saying this as like an Aldo would win. He needs the rematch. I just mean fantasy fights wise. I would just be curious to see how that fight looks, not ending in fucking 20 seconds. You know what I mean?
We should make a list of the fights that never happened that should have happened.
100%.
And obviously, Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor too. One of them, obviously for me, could be Tony Ferguson. Obviously one for me.
And just to end off my list, I'm just gonna go with Conor McGregor just to differentiate it. Who would have ever thought that I would pick Conor McGregor and not this man? Yeah, I just want to differentiate it, and I think. I do think, and I agree with everything that you said about Topuria getting the 4th spot. I do genuinely think with just how impressive a win that is, I think it is still a debate who gets that 4th spot.
I do too. If we're looking at just featherweight, and sometimes it's so hard to be so magnetized, focused on featherweight because some of their other accolades really feed into that.
Of course.
But I will say, I reverse psychologied into him saying Conor McGregor. So if you guys,
psychologically manipulated over here.
Gaslit.
So let us know who you guys have for these featherweight GOAT rankings. And honestly, I think maybe next week, just because the card is so weak, I say we continue this.
I'd say so too.
And get to our bantamweight and flyweight GOAT rankings, which is going to be flyweight's going to be funny because it's such a. I feel like you could go so many different ways with that one. Same with bantamweight.
If anybody knows me,
might be our most interesting
one of my favorite fighters of all time is in bantamweight.
Okay, well, let's not say too much.
No, let's go.
We will have that for you guys next week, along with our recap of this most recent card.
Yeah.
And the Brady versus Buckley card looks like.
Yeah.
So that should be more interesting. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like and subscribe.
Leave a notification over there. Let us know. Tell us what segments you guys want to know.
Yeah.
We love talking. We love exploring these ideas and thoughts that sometimes that we don't even know what we want to talk about because these we just go on these tangents and we're like, dang, we didn't know that we love this specific
True.
idea or concept that we never really thought about until you guys introduced us to it. So like, subscribe, comment down below. For the homies that are talking about Chase Hooper really needed to step up his stamina game. I agree. I'm a shout out you guys every day. Let us know. And you guys have a beautiful day today. All right.
Bye-bye.